Welcome, dear viewer of takenoTV, and today on Who is Who, we are going to introduce to you a very special person that we have been having here in Dzaleka for almost 3 good years. She will share with you her experience and what has she been doing in Dzaleka, what has it been life like to her, and all those good and all the sides of the life that she has experienced here in Dzaleka for good 3 years. So you keep with us, understanding what is going to happen and who is she. Come on, don't go anywhere. Keep watching takenoTV. Thank you.
My name is Vafa Akim, and I've been working here since 2015, first as a social worker, then as the psychosocial project director, and lastly as a facilitator of a course at our university.
Amazing. It seems that there is a lot of things that have been working with the Dzaleka community. Now, there's a lot of people doesn't know Dzaleka. How can you tell them in very short explanation what is Dzaleka like?
Sure. So, Dzaleka is a refugee camp situated in Malawi, just 45 kilometers away from our capital city, Lilongwe. And it's an incredibly dynamic place. So it hosts over 35,000 refugees from around, the Great Lakes region, the Horn of Africa, and a few other countries. And it's a place of... it's dynamic. There is suffering, but there's also resilience. There's hope and despair all at the same time. And it's been an incredible place to live in and work in the past 3 years.
How did you find yourself in Dzaleka? How was the journey from where and then you came to Dzaleka?
Sure. It's actually really interesting because I came to Dzaleka the first time just as a visitor. My father used to come and visit the Baha'i community in Karonga zone. And one day he wanted me to accompany him. And so I remember coming with him and just complaining that it was so far. And as we drove closer, I was just struck by the beauty of the hills nearby and knowing that there is a place which I thought was a place of suffering at the time, just amidst this beautiful scenery. And I remember my first visit here, we were received with such hospitality by the Baha'i community, and it really touched me. And it was at the time where I was studying social work, and the thought just crossed my mind, I wonder what you need to do to work in a place like this, and maybe when I graduate I can come here. And then I forgot about it, and I forgot that I wanted to work here until I met the country director of JRS at a friend's birthday party, and he told me about the work that they do, and we stayed in contact. So I wanted to volunteer for them originally, but luckily there was an opportunity for a position as a social worker, and so I applied, and I went through the interviews, and I was selected, and that's how life brought me to Dzaleka.
That's very, very good. Let us go back a little bit when you are working with in psychosocial, where you have a lot of conversation with people, meeting with people. How can you tell the experience was like in dealing with people every day who has different hopes?
So in the beginning it was incredibly overwhelming, and I felt really out of my depths. I didn't feel like I could manage it, and hearing all these stories of people suffering and what they have been through and what they were still going through really drained me. But little by little I started to learn to look at the strength rather than the suffering, and not to ignore the suffering because it is there, but to also recognize that people have the means to overcome their suffering, and to help where you can, but also see people's strength, see their resilience, and not just look at them from a lens of pity or see their suffering alone. So that made it easier. It doesn't ever make it easy to hear about people's suffering, but it did make me realize that it isn't as black and white as we see it, that people can overcome, and some stories do have happy endings. And so it was good to just learn to be patient, to still listen to people and try to help where you can, and also to trust their own capacity. So having said that, it wasn't all stories that were happy ending. There still is a lot that needs to be done here and a lot of assistance that's needed. But what I learned over the years is to see people's strength.
That's amazing. That's a very good thing. Keep with us. Keep watching takenoTV. You have worked as a social worker, you have talked to a lot of people, getting to know each other, and now you moved out and then you came back for training. So how did you come up with this training, and what was the track you are talking about?
So as you mentioned, I did end my first job with JRS last year, and I had decided to take a short break because I was burnt out. But what happened luckily is that our university, HEM, Higher Education on the Margin, they had, well, I should be calling them Jesuit Worldwide Learning, but they had wanted to do a course on psychosocial case management. So they had told me before I left that there may be an opportunity to come back for that course, and I was very excited for that because I couldn't leave Dzaleka. I'm too attached to it. And so while I was away, we were communicating, and when we heard the funding had come through, I came back, and then we started the course. So it's a course on psychosocial case management, and it equips people to be able to identify individual cases, to assess them and find out the root causes of their problem as well as their strengths, and then to help them to overcome the situation and improve their well-being. So if I put it very simply, they're trying to improve the well-being of everyone here in Dzaleka. So to find out what is stopping people from being the best they can be, and try to help them overcome that, either by linking them to existent services or just giving them their own strength and capacity to overcome the problem.
This is very, very amazing that somebody came to work, but she thought like, no, I can't just work and go. I have to leave the knowledge that I have to the people here so that I can be able to stand on their own. Now you have give back to the community, not only working with them, not only working with refugees, but now teaching them how to identify like the work that we are actually doing. I think so. After that, what are we expecting after you are done with this implementation?
For the community,
yes.
Yeah. So we're hoping that the 28 students that have graduated are going to be able to now go into the community and help people, to put it very simply, but to also empower people, to allow them to overcome their own challenges. And they're not the only ones. So we know that we have trained 28, but beyond them, I know of hundreds more who are running their own CBOs, who are working in the NGOs here. And so I think Dzaleka is in very good hands, and I played a very little role in I'm just a little speck that came and went. But I think what fills me with hope is knowing about all these people, including yourself, who are really assisting the community and trying to bring in hope, bring in strengths, bring in skills. And so I'm not worried about that at all, but I'm so proud to know that our 28 students are going to join that pool of people who are making Dzaleka a better place.
That's very, very amazing. So what can be the last word to dear viewer and to the Dzaleka community from you?
Wow. So for anyone who's watching, if you have never been to Dzaleka, I would really encourage you to come and visit and to see what skills you can bring, what role you can play. You may just come and learn from people here, but if there is something that you have that you can offer, and it may be as small as sharing your skills, or just coming and for a visit and seeing what you can offer, I really invite you to come and visit. We have the Tumaini Festival coming up on the 2nd and 3rd of November. You have months to save up and come wherever in the world you are, and that's a wonderful opportunity to come and really see the resilience and joy and strength that exists in Dzaleka, and to see what role you can play in this place.
Thank you very much. It was very amazing meeting you and very amazing having you at takenoTV on the Who is Who. Thank you very much, dear viewer. And now we are reaching to the end of this program today. And to remind you, I was given this one of the star. Come on, I'm a star today. Keep watching, keep subscribing and liking our videos on YouTube. Share with friends and families to make this huge community be aware of what great people in Dzaleka are doing. Thank you. Till next time, you are with me, Gakwaya. See you.